Welcome to the Week 10 of the MHC's Dish from the Pitch video edition, sponsored by Guinness and Midwest Orthopedic. I'm your host, Jack Harold. With me, as always, is my co-host, Jason Kirkpatrick.
Last week of the regular season, Jack, some teams are really getting ramped up for the playoffs. The rest of them just kind of trying to enjoy the last week of hurling as much as they can. Let's get started with the first game of the day, Silver Spring House versus Shamrock Club. A very unusual sight for the Griffins as Captain Vinny Maloney took to the goal for this game, resting up for the playoffs for next week. It was an early struggle at midfield though, and both sides were chasing down the sliotar with great speed, but their marks were playing tight and it was really hindering the passing early on. Silver Spring manages to sneak in a couple over the bar in the first quarter, but the heavyweights seemed to put a little more hustle into their play all half as the Griffins were wearing themselves out trying to get better looks up close on the net. Shamrock Club would keep pace as each team grabbed a goal, but it was the heavyweights who would keep up the pointing to nab a narrow 3-point lead at halftime. A Griffin surge of action started in the second half though. They continued to hunt for goals and they found the net twice to quickly turn the tide on the heavyweights. Silver Spring made some late adjustments to stop the Griffins' advance and they were able to push momentum back to their own offense, but a ton of heavyweight shots were going wide. The Shamrock Club defenders are no slouches either, which made it tough for the Silver Spring full forwards to keep plays alive. The heavyweights were down by 3 entering the final quarter, but the game was far from over for them. A scoring blitz of their own led to 6 more up top for Silver Spring House, while their defense consistently turned away any Griffin advances. With a narrow lead, the heavyweights were moving the ball well to keep it away from Shamrock Club and prevent them from evening things up. It wasn't the prettiest win for Silver Spring House, but they take the victory with the final score 111-14 points to Shamrock Club's 3-2-11 total points. Jack, Shamrock Club had the opportunity to jump into first place with a win in this match, but instead they dropped to third place and they'll end up seeing Silver Spring House again next week in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, it'll be a bit of a deja vu, but it should be a good game either way, just as this one was. Both teams are really good. They complement each other well. On to the second game of the day, Burks Irish Castle versus All Tool Sales.
Everyone eagerly anticipating the fight for the final playoff spot in this match, expecting to be very close as well. Great passing on both teams to get it going, but an early red card on Burks' powerhouse Connor Kilp really taking a lot of firepower out of their arsenal. Jeffrey Schishler would step up in his absence and try to lead the Knights down the field, charging hard and really moving the sliotar well up the sidelines. All Tool, though, continued to show controlled passing and great field vision, started the second quarter with a quick goal and a point. Burks had their moments, though, with a second chance goal before halftime. Stayed close on the points through the post, but the Legion goes to halftime with a comfortable lead. The second half saw Legion co-captains Stephen Schmidt and Paul Thibault Steinbrecher taking turns leading the Legion to the net. All Tool keeper Andy Howe was backing up his squad as well as his nimble style of grab-and-go goalkeeping. Burks had very little time to try and rally, but everyone on the team was playing like it could be done. Pat McGowan was working valiantly for the Knights against Thibault at mid, and Mike Herbers and Matt Mangan were both playing really well all game. Great defensive work by Matt Larson as well. It's exactly what the Knights needed, but they also needed to open up on offense, and that just wasn't possible with this tough All-Tool squad as the Legion takes the victory in the last playoff spot with the final score 8-8, 32 points to Burks' 2-8, 14 total points. A lot of anticipation leading up to this game with that final playoff spot in line there, but Burks was essentially neutralized by the red card to Connor Kilp in the first quarter of the game. Really took him out of the scoring, and an unfortunate end of the season that was going really well to start with.
Absolutely. We started off the season really well, very strong. Mid-season drama really hurt us, and we never really recovered from it. On to the third game of the day, Brokaw versus Trinity. Most seasons, people tend to root for the first place team to lose. This season may be a bit different, as it seems that just about everyone seems to have subbed for Brokaw at some point during the season. True to form, Brokaw needed subs and put them to good use immediately. Brokaw started off the first half just completely dominant, ending the first half 1-8 for 11 to 0-2 for 2. The second half was a different story though, as Nick Tater-Ritz stepped into goal, limiting Brokaw's offense. Trinity's offense, on the other hand, was on fire, scoring 3 goals in the third quarter alone. Though they had all the momentum, the Rebels had difficult time sustaining their drive. Adjusting admirably, Brokaw finished out the game as they had begun it, fast and strong, with a score of 5-12 for 27 to Trinity's 4-4 for 16. So Jason, a patchwork Brokaw team remains undefeated, still at the top of the charts going into the semifinals.
Yeah, Trinity really enjoyed their last game. Frankly, they kept right on the heels of the Bandits in terms of their goals, but they just couldn't get it done with the points. On to the last game of the day, Irish Pub versus Slim Begins.
The final game of the 19th season of the Milwaukee Hurling Club saw Irish Pub facing off against Slim McGinn's. This would prove to be a tough match for both teams. Irish Pub had yet to score their first wins, and Slim McGinn's has had a rocky yet good year. In this game, they really came together well. Slim McGinn's got together on many good goals and points, and their passing was spectacular. But likewise, Irish Pub, having changed their lineup around, gave them a real run for their money. Score was tight, and unfortunately, a monsoon came in, ending the first half, and thus causing a rain delay for what would have been an otherwise spectacular game. Yeah, it's really too bad the monsoon basically killed the game. It was shaping up to be a heck of a game. Both sides were really playing well.
Yeah, we've really lucked out with our weather on Sundays this year, but sometimes you just can't avoid it. It's unfortunate for two teams that were really looking to come out for that last game and enjoy themselves. On to the leaderboard now for our final look of the year. Brokaw, Silver Spring House, Shamrock Club, and All Tools Sales all set to meet in the playoffs. Burks finishing their season at 4-4. The Slims finishing their season at 3-4. County Clare also at 3-4. Trinity finishing at 3-5, along with McBob's at 3-5. Alehouse finishing at 2-6, and Pub finishing their season at 0-7.
Join us next Sunday for playoff matches and shield matches. Started off with Burks versus Slim McGinn's, 11 o'clock, Brokaw at the first seed versus All Tools Sales as the fourth seed, followed by a special time of 12:30 youth matches. 2 o'clock sees the second and third seed Silver Spring House versus the Shamrock Club. And finally, 3:30, the party at the pitch. Irish Fest will be upon us shortly, and the MHC is looking for volunteers to help promote the great sport of hurling. For more information on how to sign up, please contact Megan Neuenschwander at 414-897-3583 or at Megalulu2900 at sbcglobal.net.
And just a reminder, on Championship Weekend, we'll be hosting our sponsors Shamrock Club for their annual picnic, Sunday, August 24th. Come out and join us and support the Shamrock Club.
Please be sure to check out the online magazine version of Dish from the Pitch with more comprehensive coverage of these games plus much more. We'll see you next time.